Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Child Care Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hey guys, Erica Sacoccio here with the Child Care Director's Chair podcast. Welcome to our show. So happy you're here today. If you're tuning in, it's probably Friday on my end because we're doing it in the news. So we hope that you like this segment. We've been doing it in the news a few Fridays just to kind of see what's going on in the world of childcare. So here we are. And I was really excited because as I was scrolling through what was going on, I came across this article in State Line, and it is a news article. It says, part of state's newsroom. And as I'm reading it, I realized that I knew some of the folks that were referenced in this article, and they're talking about my state. So I said, you know what? I have to do it. So I love you, Rhode Island. Today we're in the news. So the headline reads, for child care workers, state aid for their own kids' care is life-changing. And a few states are working to underrate child care costs for early childhood educators. Now, I love this idea as a business owner. It has taken a strain off of my teaching staff and off the child care center. So what I mean by that is most centers offer reduced child care for their employees as part of their benefits. But that means that we're giving up a spot and half the price. You know, overhead is so high right now. Most of us can't really afford to do that, but we're trying to keep and retain high qualified staff. And this is a perk that many, many women, including myself, when I first started in the business, really was one of the draws to working in the field of early childhood education. You could bring your child to work with you while you were, building your career, and your child was safe. You got to spend time with them. I know for me, I didn't miss any field trips. I was lucky enough to go on every field trip, made every graduation, all the benefits that come from being in a center with your child. And so this program started in Rhode Island just about last year, and they did it as a pilot because they weren't sure where the funding was going to come from, and they just renewed it. So I'm really excited about that for our teachers. They pay through DHS, they pay for their child's childcare tuition the regular amount. So the teacher isn't paying out of pocket, even if it's half, and the center isn't having to eat half of the tuition that they normally waive for the employee. So it's a win-win for both the employee and for the center. And of course, for the child, it allows more children to have access to high quality programs. And so the article reads, Smithfield, Rhode Island, child care worker Marcy, then 32 years old, looked over at 4-year-olds in her care who were using a tassel, tussling over a toy plate in a model kitchen. Are we sharing? And she gently asked them to both let it go. And it talks about where she works in the city and where her daughter goes and the difference that it has made for her to be able to stay in the field. She then said that she would not be able to afford the $315 a week that it costs for her daughter to go to the center that she's at. But she is taking advantage of the 1-year state pilot that authorizes the use of federal funds to pay for care for child care workers or the children of the child care workers. She said it's been life-changing for her, and that as a single mom who's also responsible for a disabled young adult whom she adopted, without it would have to rearrange her life. Rhode Island isn't the only ones doing this. In 2022, Kentucky lawmakers changed their employee child care assistance program to specifically include child care workers at all income levels who worked at least 20 hours a week. So there are some stipulations around it, but really it is there to help prompt folks to continue to stay in the field of early childhood education. Other states, including Rhode Island, have since launched programs modeled after Kentucky's program. A Kentucky program was set to end on September 30th, but a spokesperson for the state's Cabinet of Health and Family Services wrote in an email that the state would be using to combine federal funds and state funds to continue the program. And then some folks are a little bit worried because federal funding has kind of depleted and it really has stopped in terms of around the pandemic. So there's a little quote here, and it says, states are trying to prop up the childcare industry and it isn't enough. State efforts to prop up childcare might spare some providers from the worst effects of last month's expiration of the pandemic-related relief. At least it is temporary, but it is a system that is unraveling. And we know that, right? That the lack of affordability, access, low wages, staff turnover, burnout will continue. So we do all agree that we have to figure out how to fix this model so children can have access to quality, parents can go to work and make sure that their children are safe. So these things are really important. So yes, this is not going to fix everything, but it certainly is a step in the right direction. I'd love to hear what all of you think about this subject. And in the picture, I love this, where the Rhode Island lawmakers added the child care subsidy to its fiscal 2025 budget this spring, moving the program out of a pilot category into an actual category. And in the picture is my great friend, Representative Marianne Shellcross-Smith, with the wonderful Grace Diaz, both Democrats, who are very excited about this bill. And I'm sure that they both have been advocates for child care centers for years and years and years. Marianne also owns her own child care centers, multiple, but it really is something that is going to help. And if all states moved for this, I think that it would help a lot of not only teachers, but the employers as well. So I say, good job, Rhode Island. Good job to Arizona. Good job to Kentucky for coming up with these initiatives. Some budget challenges. Arizona had a one-year education workforce scholarship program that assisted childcare workers and public school teachers with paying for their own child's childcare. So that's supposed to end in June at the end of this month, but they're not sure if they're going to be able to refund it. Also, Nebraska's doing something similar. So to all the reps out there, I would like to say on behalf of all the childcare owners, thank you. On behalf of the parents, thank you. On behalf of the staff, thank you. Keep working at what you're doing. Keep having the conversations, because it is going to take all of us together to solve this crisis. I appreciate you tuning in for today. The article that I'm making reference to is again in the State Line article. It's written by Elaine. Going to spell her last name, Vich. If you want to look at it, make reference to it. It came out on June 17th, so this is pretty close to in the news. We'll also share this link on our Facebook page. If you're not on our Facebook page, hop on over and hit the like button and engage with our posts. We'd love to talk with you. So let us know what you think. And as always, remember, it's the small details that make a big impact in the success of your childcare business. Have a great day.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Child Care Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Child Care Director's Chair.